Hey there, it's Lauren. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm going to be doing a favorites video, a little recap of some of my loved and tested out items for the month. So I'm going to start out with a body product that I've really loved. I've talked about it here or there, I think in my moisturizer kind of roundup collection body moisturizer video, as well as when I hauled it. So I'm not sure if I've mentioned it since then, but it is the Daughter of the Land Deep Moisture Face and Body Oil. Now, I have used it on my face, but I definitely prefer it for the body. It is a mix of avocado, apricot, and coconut oils, and then it has the sage as well as peppermint or mint in it as well. So it's got the sage and grass scent. Love that. I love kind of grassy, woodsy, outdoorsy scents all year round, but even more so this time of year. I've been even more like getting out my like cedar and different types of those types of incense and things like that. So this has been really nice scent for this time of year. And it's also just a really nice oil. It does a good job of moisturizing. It's not too heavy. It does a pretty good job of sinking in pretty fast. Of course, if I use too much, I gotta wait a minute before I put my jeans on, but if I am paying attention and using the right amount, it's the perfect amount of moisture without the weird putting on pants feeling. So that has been a favorite. And then I have 3 skincare items I wanted to mention. One is an old love that I've talked about time and time again on my channel, and that is the Leilani Mermaid Mask. I've gone through at least a jar of this as well as a couple of samples, and I have this guy that I've used several times this month. It's definitely been like a skin helper this month. It's been a bit of a stressful November, a lot going on. Several nights where I drank quite a bit of wine and had company over and fell asleep with my makeup on, and the next day this really helped me to not have any or lesser amount of repercussions from the evening before. It is a honey-based mask that's got spirulina, so it's nicknamed like the superfood for your skin. I have a whole Leilani video where I talk quite a bit about the various Leilani products I've tried. I'll link that below, but this is definitely a favorite Leilani product as well as a favorite mask, and it is quite a dense mask. So I find myself scooping it into the palm of my hand first and kind of warming it up, as well as either spritzing it with some kind of mist or adding a couple drops of an oil that I really like in there as well, so I can help thin it out, get it on my face, as well as I'll like spritz my face. So I'll do like a whole like little cocktail situation to get that on. And then next up, I've had this for a while and I've been testing it here or there, but really been focusing on using it this month, and it is the Paula's Choice 1% Retinol Booster. They sent me a little care package a long time ago. I don't even remember now. I think it was at the beginning of summer. Slowly been dipping into it, using different products, and I have been using the retinol quite a bit. I've been using it on my face as well as my body. Not every single day, or every single night rather, because that is something my skin can't handle. But I have been a little bit more consciously over the last month using this every couple of nights, and it has helped with congestion, evening my skin tone, and just kind of like softening my face. Between just like stress and weather, my face is definitely kind of taking a toll. And between some of the different things that I have been using, like the mermaid mask and the next item I am going to share, this has definitely kind of helped in that regard. So it's kind of a thin, almost like runny egg kind of consistency, and I'll make a little kind of cocktail with it in the palm of my hand, either mix it in with a moisturizer or an oil, and use that to pat onto my face as well as onto my body. This has been working really well on my shoulders. This has been an area that has been really problematic for me ever since the end of July, which is really annoying because it was super hot and I never wanted to wear any kind of tank top that would show this part of my body, and it's the clearest it has been in a while, which is which is really nice. And then lastly, skincare wise, I wanted to mention the Wabi-Sabi Moisture Boost. I've really loved everything I've tried from that brand so far. They've been a brand that's been on my radar for a while now, so I'm glad I finally took the plunge, and I love this stuff. So the Moisture Boost is actually a rather simple ingredients list. I think it's only about 3 ingredients. It's very moisturizing, hence the name Moisture Boost, and very squalene rich. It has a very kind of thick, almost like sap-like texture. It just gives really beautiful plump skin. It's definitely one of my like favorite things to use in the morning for like prepping my skin for makeup. And it has a very like what's the word, kind of like savory in a way scent, like herbal savory scent to it, which I could see putting off several people. I could see it being a scent some people really wouldn't like, but I like it. I like having a break from the normal kind of floral or fruity scents that we have. And it isn't anything that lingers, so I love this. Love this brand so far. I'll do a little recap on the products that I've tried in the near future, but I've really loved that. Getting into some makeup items that I've really been enjoying this month. This is actually a little drugstore gem, and that is the Wet n Wild Makeup Contour Stick. This is in the color Where's Walnut. And it's definitely a warm toned brown color, not that kind of cool toned contour color that I normally would go for, but it's been really nice to like chisel as well as warm up the face. Samantha Ravindal did a video recently about kind of like changing up the makeup, like changing up her makeup routine, where she did her bronzer and her highlight and her blush before she put on her foundation to kind of give like a more natural looking effect. And this is definitely a really good product for doing that, but this really creates a very soft chiseled effect, and yeah, very potent. It's a really good guy. So that has been a favorite for sure. And then I have been doing a little bit more winged liner lately. Don't have it on right now, but it's something about the holiday season. Been into the sparkles, the vampy lips, and the eyeliner, and I got this in PR a little bit ago. It's the Pixi and Wiley dual-ended black liner. It has a felt tip end as well as a kohl tip. So yeah, this has been really handy. I'm not the best at eyeliner. Definitely gotten better over the years, but I also don't really care for the way a liquid liner looks on me. I think it's just because of my eye shape and my makeup preferences that having anything that is too perfect and too crisp looking kind of looks misplaced on my face. So having the kohl to then kind of soften the liquid liner up, I really like. So I'll generally use like a wet angled brush and some eyeshadow to do a wing, so then I can get a slight smudged or soft focus effect. But having the mix of the kohl with the liner kind of helps create that effect anyways. I am rapidly losing light because I keep waiting for the dogs to stop barking in between talking about things. So yeah, hopefully this isn't pitch black by the time I'm done. But I got sent a few things via Octoly, gifted to me from Octoly and Lancome this last month. So I thought I would talk about them in here. They sent me some of the Ombre Hypno Stylos as well as the L'Absolu Lacquers. I can never remember exactly what L'Absolu Lacquers, yeah, that's what it is, because they have several things with that kind of name going on. But I had a couple of the Hypno Stylos before. So they're a eyeshadow stick. They're really good for doing a quick eye look. So I was excited to get a couple more. They're very long lasting and can be a little bit troublesome and dry to blend out, especially if it's like a really cold morning. So if you live in a place where it's really cold, these probably aren't something that you're gonna want to use in the morning because they're gonna be hard to get on. But if it's not incredibly cold and incredibly dry, they're fine. Really long lasting. I can put one of these on in the morning and they will last a very long time. Gotta be careful though not to build up too much, because then they can look a little bit dry. And they also are a tiny bit tacky. They dry down, but they still have a little bit of tackiness, so they actually work really well for being a base for other eyeshadow. They sent over a purple one, this kind of maroon one, a bronzy gold, and a black. And I already owned a yellow gold and a shimmer shade. So today I am wearing this bronzy one, and then I have a tiny bit of the maroon one, Rubus, just along here. But this one, I love the way it swatches straight up, but for some reason when it blends out, the sort of reddish maroon tones really quickly turn purple. And then they also gifted a few of the L'Absolu lacquers, as well as a clear, actually, lip liner, which at first I wasn't too sure about this, but I really like this, especially for doing more like defined but glossy nude lips, or just using with a more colorful gloss, because sometimes it can get a little bit undefined and bleed weird. So this really helps, and it really helps actually with the deeper colors of these. So they sent a gold, which I don't really like how it looks just on its own on me. It works better as more of a topper. And then they sent over a kind of like a deep purpley blackish brown and a red. The red one actually performed really well building up. Now I've worn both of these on their own as well as toppers, and this one definitely sits the best out of all of them on its own, and this one gets a little bit pilly and weird as I try and build it up, but I've really loved it for topping deeper, more vampy lips, like the deeper, vampier shades I got from Ritual Defy that I've really been enjoying. Very sultry, very cool. These are a very strange formula. When these first came out, they were like everywhere, and I feel like most everyone was really into the nude shades, and I can see why, because it first goes on like a sheer gloss and you can build it up, and I think the nudes probably lend themselves to doing that better than some of these deeper shades. But for like tying together or going over top of things, it works really well. And this like red shade is actually really pretty, so I'll probably be wearing this a lot more as I get closer to Christmas and I start wearing every single one of like my red lipsticks and glittery eyeshadows in various combinations. And then on my lips right now, I have on one of the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood lips. I'm wearing Showgirl, which is a really pretty kind of raspberry berry shade. So I hauled these guys a little bit ago, and I loved both of these little minis. I really like this formula. I haven't really heard much about this Charlotte Tilbury formula / haven't really heard good things about the Hollywood Lips formula, but I actually really like it. It's one of the more comfortable liquid lipstick formulas that I've tried. It's not too overly drying. It's not like completely transfer proof, but I think that's why it's more comfortable, because it's not like purely uncomfortably dry. So I've really liked that. It's kind of like whipped in the way that it goes on. So yeah, that's all of the beauty, just beauty and skincare related favorites that I wanted to talk about. I really enjoyed Homecoming, the new Julia Roberts show on Amazon. Super good, super dark, very Hitchcockian, which I really love. And then I know I plugged Patriot in my last favorite video, but I binge watched all of season 2 of Patriot. It is amazing. I want people to watch that show, because maybe if people watch it, they'll actually make a 3rd season, because that's looking very unlikely. But unfortunately, I think the marketing for that show just was not just not done in general, let alone done well. It's called Patriot, but I don't think that gives a really good description of it. If you liked Ozarks or Fargo, or honestly, if you really like any like Coen Brothers movies, you'll probably like Patriot. It's like funny, dark spy, but with really great folk music. So anyways, I will end it there. Hopefully you had a really great November and you're having a good December so far, and that it won't be too stressful for you. I know it's going to be crazy for me since I am in the middle of moving, which is insane. Anyways, I'll give some sort of update on that in the future. Anyways, I hope you are having a good one. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe if you aren't, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Come here. Come here. That's a good boy. Lay down. Lay down. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. That's a good dog. That's a good dog. Just sit right here. Right here. Be very quiet, please.